Hey, Dr. Mike here. Dr. Crystal wants me to say if you have a burning desire to know more about inflammation and how to reduce it, stay tuned to find out.
You're listening to Live Foreverish, a show dedicated to helping you live just a little longer. Here's your hosts, Dr. Mike and Dr. Crystal Gossard.
All right, welcome to Live Foreverish. You know, Dr. Crystal, you and I have talked about inflammation a lot. And we should, because if you want to live forever-ish, a little longer and a lot stronger.
I don't know. So those of you you're listening, this Dr. Mike has a new tagline living just came up with.
Living forever-ish, a little longer, a lot stronger.
A lot stronger.
Come on, guys, that's good.
Okay, I'll get on the bandwagon.
Okay, all right. So, but it's true. You know, chronic inflammation. We have said so many times that it is the common denominator of all age-related diseases. And so having a strategy for keeping that inflammation in check is really important. But we have to back up, though, don't we? Because it is important, too.
Oh, yes. It's how the body heals. Inflammation is involved with bringing immune cells to the site. Of course, there is the redness, the heat, the swelling, of course, the loss of impairment as well,
pain.
The one that we don't like, and the pain. But there is a purpose for all of these aspects, increasing blood flow to that area. And so we need inflammation. And I know some people, they're just like, I just want to wipe it out. And I'm saying, no, you need to heal. And just a quick tangent. It's fast. We need the inflammation process to heal and to help us grow more muscles.
I love it. It's so true.
You know, when you're exercising.
I agree. Yeah.
You're breaking
That's
down,
how you make muscle.
Tearing apart that muscle. And you don't want to take too many anti-inflammatories after a big workout.
I'm going to flip this.
Okay.
Like people are like, I want to wipe out inflammation, where there are drugs for certain inflammatory conditions that do. And guess what happens? They have an increased risk of deadly infections. You don't want to wipe out inflammation. It's so important.
But, you know, we do live in a world where chronic inflammation is what's most prevalent in our population.
Let's give a very simple, easy definition of chronic inflammation. How would you say?
Well, I think it's easy. I think it's really when you don't have proper resolution of inflammation. We still have immune cells, inflammatory cells that's sticking around. It's a smoldering flame.
I like that, yeah.
That's why I asked Dr. Mike, say, do you have a burning desire? You don't want to be burning, and you don't want the smoldering coals either.
Well, I told you that was too when inflammation was starting to get real big and stuff like that. That word inflammaging, remember that? Time magazine on their cover had "Is Your Body on Fire?" That was like their cover, and that was like the world's really first intro into this idea of chronic inflammation.
Yeah, you don't want the inside of your body to be a slow cooker.
Yeah, I like it smoldering. It's like some timbers are still burning in there. Real acute inflammation is a fire, and you need that. But your body also has things to pull it back, calm it down, wipe it out, right? Not totally, but just keep it controlled. And chronic inflammation, as we get older, we're just losing that control a little bit.
That's right.
All right, so I like the way our team set this up for us. We're going to go through extrinsic and intrinsic issues, right? And what we've done is we've set it up where we're going to mention what the problem is and briefly kind of discuss that, and then quickly what the solution to that specific problem is, right?
Right.
Now, if you're somebody who's interested in this, like I am, I know Dr. Crystal is. Don't think of it as these things happening in a vacuum. Right? A lot of the stuff we're going to cover, they're happening to all of us all the time.
Yes.
So it's not like you got to, well, which one of those is me? Most likely it's a lot of these.
Right. Many of these things you need to just keep in mind.
Yeah. So let's get to, so in extrinsic, outside things causing chronic inflammation. Number one, I think this is the big one.
I know it's the big one.
Imbalance in omega-6 to 3 fatty acids, or what is known as the omega-6, omega-3 ratio. real quickly. That ratio. So omega-6s tend to drive a little more inflammation. Omega-3s calm it down a little bit, right? And a good ratio in the American diet is probably somewhere. People are going to argue this: 3-to-1, 2-to-1. Some people say 1-to-1 ratio. That's fine, whatever that is.
The ideal ratio of 6 to 3.
Of 6 to 3. It's definitely low, right? Like 3-to-1, let's say. But what's the average American?
17, 18, 19 to 1. And when we say 19 to 1, meaning if you look at the levels of these fats in your body, 19, 18, 19, 6, which is pro-inflammatory, to 1, omega-3, which is anti-inflammatory. So this is keeping us in a pro-inflammatory state. The omega-6s, they're just making these mediators of inflammation that are just super powerful and strong. And good at doing their job, but of course you kind of have to balance that out.
That's all it is. It's a balance. And so so what's the solution coming from the doctor of clinical nutrition?
Well, the solution is to find ways to get more omega-3s into your body.
Right.
That can be from fatty fish,
great,
salmon,
great,
sardine,
love
anchovy,
all of it,
mackerel.
I'm getting hungry.
Or nuts like walnuts,
all of it,
flaxseed,
pistachios.
I have to look that up. I don't know, Dr. Mike.
I went too far. I'm not the nutritionist. Went too far.
And then of course maybe adding in a fish oil, because or krill.
Yeah.
Or algae
or
oil.
Algae, however you want to get it. There's a lot of options out there. Interesting, it's the algae that actually makes the omega-3s. And then they get eaten by the fish, and then we eat the fish, and that's how we get it. So, I think at the end of the day, an omega-3 add-in is probably the easiest first step for people, but then also work on the diet. We like food first.
We do, and so with food first, just a reminder that the foods that's giving you the omega-6s, a lot of the animal products.
Yeah.
So as you're upping the omega-3 intake, consider kind of decreasing the animal
the
meats. Yes.
Yeah. And again, we're not saying you have to eliminate it. It's just finding that better balance. And you can actually test for this. You can know what your 6 to 3 ratio it is. But right there, I just think for me, an omega-3 add-on, 2 to 4 grams of omega-3 wild oil, omega oils.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cause number 2 is food.
Yes, and we already
Which
talked
is kinda
about
connected to
the
what we
6
just
to
did.
3,
Yeah.
but this section is really looking at high intakes of sugar, low fiber in your diet, processed foods, ultra processed foods. There's a difference between the two.
There is, yeah.
We do have a show. If you want to go back and listen to a show, we talk about kind of the different types of processed foods in the categories, high intakes of fat. So we're talking about what most people eat, the Western diet.
Yeah, and so a lot of it's pro-inflammatory. I know that one of the things you like to focus on in that kind of Western diet is the dysbiosis in the gut that happens. That's simply a fancy way of saying you don't have enough diversity of good, healthy bacteria, right, in your gut.
That's right.
Yeah, and all of that can drive a more pro-inflammatory state. So what's going to be our answer? I'm going to say Mediterranean diet.
One of the best diets that is, and I don't like calling it a diet.
It's a lifestyle of eating.
It's a lifestyle of eating, because it's more than just the food that you eat. It's really who you're eating it with, and the family, and the laughter, and sitting around the table and sharing stories.
I miss that.
That makes a difference.
Yeah. And I think when you say the word diet too, a lot of Americans automatically think like a weight loss thing. Right. But it's so Mediterranean lifestyle of eating and socializing at dinner.
So what does that mean? That means back to some fatty fish, some olive oil.
A lot of tomatoes,
means eating
leafy
local
greens.
Right. Eating local, eating fresh food. It's real food.
Yeah. I've said this before and it surprises people. I remember, so my mom's side is all Greek. And I've told you this before, that when my grandma would come and cook dinners and stuff, what she mostly put on the plate were vegetables. I mean, there was some meat. We do like lamb. We had some, but it wasn't a big portion. It really wasn't. Because they didn't have anything that she was cooking how she knew how to cook. Oh. That woman got up every morning and made bread.
Oh, love it.
Every morning. All right, moving on. So the Mediterranean diet is a good way to go. Let's go to cause number 3. This is the environment. Now, how do we get it? What are we going to do here?
There's so much that you can do.
Well, I don't know what to do.
Look, right in the other room in our office, we have a huge
that loud, irritating
HEPA
hospital
air purifier.
thing. I can't concentrate when that thing's on.
You have to be aware that the air in your surrounding needs to be cleaned.
Yeah.
Remove the mold.
Well, indoor air,
dust.
Indoor air is worse than outdoor, right?
With all of our buildings being sealed, but even the pollution outside, and these pollutants get stored in our fat tissue.
That's a good point. We don't talk about it. Those chemicals you don't want, they love to hang on to your body.
They do, and then that causes inflammation.
Chronic inflammation, right. So we got to do things you can do to clean your environment. I mean, obviously, we can't control water and air or whatever, but you can inside. Good filters, air and water, all that kind of stuff that you mentioned. I got to tell you, too, I think carpets need to go. What do you think?
I'm a fan.
Of carpets?
I am.
I know Blake don't like that. That's her husband.
He hates it.
Just get a throw rug.
I know.
Anyways, all right. So clean up.
But
inside.
if you do have carpet, you need to make sure you vacuum weekly. Have them steamed, at least once or twice a year. If you're going to live with carpet. But yes, you're right. Absolutely right. But it's not just the carpet. It's the drapes. It's the curtains.
Wooden blinds.
Oh, I'm telling you.
That's what I do. Yep. I think maybe my inside's pretty good then.
Maybe so.
All right. Let's talk then, though, about what you can do like internally, right? So we mentioned a lot of these chemicals you don't want are getting in your system. They drive up that chronic inflammation. So a solution for the environmental thing is Boswellia.
Yes.
Well, a combination, technically, right?
Boswellia and bale fruit. It's I
don't know if I know what bale fruit
native
is.
to India, other parts of Asia. But there's research with Boswellia, which is Indian frankincense. I always like to say that.
Yeah, it's frankincense.
Used in traditional Indian medicine, shown benefits for respiratory disorders. And there's research with these two nutrients combined in individuals who tend to be sensitive to air pollution, just showing improvements in their respiratory function, lung capacity, after 6 weeks.
There you go. So try some Boswellia and bale
I would
fruit.
like to say something else when we talk about how these pollutants are stored in fat tissue. Consider sauna, sweating.
Interesting, yeah.
Exercise, of course. You are releasing those pollutants, and make sure you shower right after.
Hot yoga.
Dr. Mike.
We were talking about hot yoga. What were we talking? I don't
We
remember
were
what it was.
yesterday.
Yeah. Never going to get me to do that. I sweat when it's cold.
It's fantastic.
Could you imagine me in a place like that?
It's amazing.
I dehydrate and die.
You wouldn't dehydrate. Well, you could. I mean, I would have to say you need to work your way up to
slow. Yeah, gotcha.
To hot
All right,
yoga.
let's go to cause number 4. It's stress. Now, it's weird. Stress has a complicated relationship to inflammation. Well, you don't think it does. I do.
No, I agree. Before the show, we had this back and forth, and I'm like, well, I don't understand, because cortisol, which is our stress hormone, has an anti-inflammatory effect. And Dr. Mike said, well, it's not that simple.
It's not. So excess, so we're talking about chronic inflammation, which means we're talking about chronic stress here. We're not talking, again, stress and inflammation are very similar in that there's an acute aspect of both of them that you need. right? That fight or flight, which is driven by the cortisol system, that keeps you alive if you need to slam on your brakes because a car or a kid jumped out, right? I mean, it's an important thing, but it should calm down. So then, but when it doesn't, you have excess cortisol levels. That causes problems. It's the same thing with chronic inflammation. And here's what's interesting about it. Excess cortisol actually can activate inflammatory pathways.
Yeah.
Not inhibit them. It makes sense in the acute setting because in that stressful thing, you don't need the immune system on. You don't need any of that. You just need to run.
Right.
You got to run from that bear, right?
Yes.
So your gut stops, the inflammatory, but chronically it's a different story.
Yeah, so the chronic inflammation or that the cortisol also impairs the gut microbiota, alters transit time, leads to intestinal permeability, and all of that can lead to inflammation.
Yeah.
Just via the gut.
All right, so what are you going to do about stress? Obviously, we've talked about stress so much. There's stress modification things that you can be doing, ranging from sleep to self-care, all kinds of stuff, even some good nutrients.
Even hot yoga.
I don't like hot, and I don't even like stretching. There's no way I'm doing that.
Okay.
I'm going to that other place you wanted me to go to for stretching.
Stretch zone.
Yeah, so I just lay there and they do the work.
It's better than nothing,
Alex,
Dr.
it's the
Mike.
only way I'm going to be able to get it.
It's better than nothing.
So the answer to this is we chose magnesium. Why?
We did, and not for the calming effect. Magnesium supports a healthy inflammatory response, most likely to do so based on this dietary inflammatory index. So I say, this is a win.
I like
multimodal approach for magnesium.
I remember we were talking about how to do all this because there were so many things you could go here. And both of us almost at the same time went magnesium.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, now we're going to go. Those were the 4 extrinsic causes of chronic inflammation. Now we go to the intrinsic. Number 5, this is cause number 5, intrinsic oxidative stress.
I know. That could have gone at the top.
It could. Well, but remember, it's at the top of the intrinsic.
Well, that's true.
Okay. So oxidative stress, I always refer to it as, oxygen itself. Think about it. It's an active compound. I mean, it's an active atom.
Highly reactive.
Yeah, it's highly reactive. It creates a lot of electrons. We call them crazy kids. Remember that? Free radicals, crazy kids. They get all over the place, and when they build up over time, that's oxidative stress. And it can come from metabolism, digesting food, environment.
Air pollution.
So it all kind of comes into oxidative stress. And so what are we going to do about this?
Antioxidants.
Yeah, very simple solution,
neutralizing
but so powerful.
Those free radicals, or as Dr. Mike mentioned, neutralizing the crazy kids.
Yeah, so foods, right? Eat colorful.
Yeah, make your plate as colorful as you possibly can, or just your day, everything that you eat. Try to get every color.
Yeah, I don't like, I think it's just old school to say, eat the rainbow, but
what else do you say? I mean, if you look at your plate and it's all gray or brown.
Yeah, good old American diet.
Shades of brown.
Potato,
is not
bread, and
the
meat.
way. So yes, you want the purples and the reds and the orange and the green, and that's what you want. However, there are other nutrients. You want the golden yellow curcumin or turmeric.
Love it. Absolutely. I take it every day.
NAC.
Cook with it. NAC is good.
N-acetylcysteine.
Wonderful. Yeah, because NAC leads to
glutathione.
And that's the big one.
Yes, or you can just add in glutathione as well. So antioxidant nutrients. That's going to target oxidative stress directly.
Yeah, cause number 6 is related to this because a lot of that oxidative stress happens in a very specific part of the cell.
Yeah.
The mitochondria.
Yeah, the powerhouse.
Yeah, a lot of the sugar goes there. All of those crazy free radical electrons from oxygen go there. So the mitochondria takes a hit with oxidative stress. And so we end up getting mitochondrial dysfunction.
Unfortunately, and mitochondrial dysfunction is linked to the aging process in general. It's linked to some neurological diseases like Parkinson's disease, and you're even looking at some other chronic diseases. And so we have to protect the mitochondria.
It can't protect itself, right? It doesn't have any
No.
defenses. It's
It
interesting because
doesn't.
it only has maternal DNA, which doesn't, in that kind of DNA, it doesn't have a lot of those natural antioxidants that can form and stuff like that. So it needs help.
And the number one nutrient is
Say it.
CoQ10.
Yeah.
Coenzyme Q10 resides primarily in the inner membranes of the mitochondria, a powerful free radical scavenger, picking up those free radicals,
Cleaning up those
reducing
crazy kids.
oxidative stress or oxidative damage.
I know there's two forms, ubiquinone, ubiquinol. Please go with the ubiquinol. It's better. I'm just going to say it. Dr. Crystal doesn't like when I say things like that, when I say definitive things. And she's right, I shouldn't, but in this case I am.
I'm not saying a word.
Ubiquinol. It's the best form.
Ubiquinol is the form that I would suggest for anyone to
There you
take.
go.
So we do agree.
Yeah. But if you still want ubiquinone, fine. Okay, let's go on then to cause number 7. And this also happens a lot in the mitochondria. Glycation. All right, so you're going to go ahead and do your analogy because every time I do mine,
No.
you make fun of me.
Your
And
analogy's nice.
Even though my analogy is exactly your analogy, just a different way of doing it. So go.
Well, okay, so my analogy, I'm going to switch up my analogy. Pretend you have a coffee cup, and the coffee cup has a handle that the structure of that cup with that handle allows you to pick up the cup to drink it. So if we can imagine that cup being proteins in your body, all of your proteins have a unique structure that determines their function in the body.
Yes.
Right? And whenever you have glycation reactions, when sugar is in the body, when it's around proteins, it binds to those proteins, and that protein loses its structure, so it no longer
It's
has
like the cup
its
without the
function.
handle.
So imagine the cup now. Without the handle, you can't pick it up by the handle, and it just makes it awkward.
That works. Not as good as my hand analogy, but it works. Kind of the same thing, really.
Same idea. And we see this in your everyday lab test, the hemoglobin A1C test.
Yep, you can measure it.
We're looking at glycated hemoglobin, and there's no way to never have any glycated hemoglobin because there's always sugar in the bloodstream. There's always hemoglobin and sugar.
What did they say? So an A1C, that's kind of considered great, optimal. Somewhere like upper 4s to like 5.6.
I like 5.5.
5.5, something like that.
It's hard to get it. If you're at 5.0.
Yeah.
Are you alive?
Mine was 5.4.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. And so that's an average of, gives us an average amount of the amount of glucose that's in your blood over a 3-month time period, right?
What it does is it gives you a little more of a lasting look at how someone really is, doing, right? So
if you have lots of sugar in your bloodstream all the time,
it's going to be higher.
More of your hemoglobin will be glycated.
Yep, for sure. And so what are we going to do about glycation? I'm a B vitamin fan for this. Specifically, there's one called benfotiamine or benfotiamine. Have we decided how we're saying this? Because we never seem to say it at the same time.
No, I don't think we've decided.
You say it.
I say benfotiamine.
I say benfotiamine too. There we go.
Oh. Calibrate
it. So this is a form of B1, right? Fat form of B. Wait.
I thought it was
B4, 5. Wait. Oh,
5.
Gosh. You're making me look this up.
Benfotiamine. Oh, my goodness. Thiamine is B1.
That's right. Benfotiamine.
Mike's looking it up.
Benfotiamine is a lab-made version of B1. I actually got one right.
So it's a fat-soluble version of B1 that is able to be absorbed better and protect the tissue against blood sugar related inflammation and tissue damage.
Yep, 300 or 600 milligrams a day for 6 weeks showed a pretty nice reduction in not just glycation overall, but even things associated with it like inflammation, chronic inflammation. I'm surprised we forgot what. I mean,
brain fart.
Jeez, how long have we been doing this? 20 years. Anyways, okay. There's a bunch of different reasons, extrinsic and intrinsic, for chronic inflammation, something that we got to keep at bay. You want to cool the body down. You don't want to have that burning desire. I don't know. It's what you wrote. And so, yeah, and again, I don't think of all of this as like one thing. These are all occurring. Mm-hmm. See, as just in this country, the diet we eat, you got to kind of consider all of this at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite absolute one we talked about here that drives chronic inflammation?
Omega-3s.
Yeah, that's my answer too.
That 6-to-3 ratio.
3. Yeah, for
so
sure.
important.
Right, because if you correct that, it means you're eating better. You're probably more towards plant-based Mediterranean, right? Yeah. So, and you're now your oxidative stress going down a little bit.
Yep.
Glycation's going down a little bit. See, it kind of covers the whole shebang.
I love it.
All right, there you go for chronic inflammation. Don't forget, you go to liveforeverage.com, and you're going to find a lot of episodes there. I don't know how many. Alex is here, our coordinator. How many now, Alex? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. There's so many. There's so many. Download, like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a show. And then don't forget our sponsor, Life Extension. Go check them out at lifeextension.com and use the discount code podcast, and they're going to get
10% off, $50 or more, plus free shipping and handling.
I caught her off guard. She was starting to shut down. And yeah, that's with the discount code podcast. I'm Dr. Mike. That's
Dr. Crystal.
Thanks for listening.